We had it down just the other day where an unmanned vehicle, air vehicle, entered into a Golani base. Golani is one of the infantry units, and exploded in a lunchroom. So pretty darn traumatic. Lots of people injured, 4 killed. And here's a Prime Minister Netanyahu talking about that that strike against our soldiers and how we understand it and conceptualize it. Let's listen to his words, and I'll be translating. He says, I'm at Golani's, one of the Golani bases, the one that was struck recently by the UAV, which was struck by the terror organization, the murderous terrorist organization yesterday, Hezbollah. Do you hear the firing, the shooting in the background? These are the soldiers of Golani who are continuing to train right now, because they're not going to be stopping to train. We're going to keep fighting in order to continue to fight the battles, the next battles. They're still training. We're not stopping. So first and foremost, I want to send my consolation to the 4 Golani soldiers who fell here yesterday. Omri Tamari, First Sergeant Yosef Haib, First Sergeant Yosef Haib,
Samal Yoav Agmon,
First Sergeant Yoav Agmon,
Samal Amitai Alon,
and First Sergeant Amitai Alon. May their memory be blessed. May their blood be avenged by God. And that by the way, is when he says that, when he uses that phrase, that's also a way to talk to the people, because that's a language of faith and God and strength. Hashem yinkom damo, may God avenge his blood. Now I'm going from here to the hospital to visit those who were injured here yesterday. Together with the whole nation, I pray for their speedy recovery. They and their friends who are continuing to fight here, and their friends who fell, who died. This generation is the generation of victory. We are in a tough battle, in a long battle. And that's what I'm always saying. Like he's saying, like there's a war here. It's not just, blips and ups and downs. It's a long war that we're in. It's not going to be instant happiness or instant regret. It's going to be a long war that we're in. We have to mentally prepare ourselves for such a war. This is a war against the Iranian axis of evil that has decided in their heart that they're totally convinced that their job is to destroy us. So they mean business. They shall not be successful in this. We're going to continue to fight. We are paying heavy prices. But we have tremendous successes. That's what I was showing you before. Like, yes, the fight is serious, and we take losses, but we have tremendous successes in this war so far. We'll continue to reach these goals, to succeed in these ways. And I want to clarify, we're going to continue to strike Hezbollah with no mercy. In all parts of Lebanon, including in Beirut, which is where the leadership sits. All according to operational calculations. We've proved this in the recent past. We're going to continue to prove it in the next coming days. It's the spirit, he says. It's the spirit that I see. There's a classic word called esprit de corps, right? It's like a French word, I think, and it's all about the spirit of the fighting forces. It's very important. It's a very important quality that a nation has to have. It has to have esprit de corps. It has to have a fighting spirit. And Israel, he says, look at his face. He's like, Israel's got that fighting spirit now. Strong spirit of soldiers, of medics, of female medics. fighters who understand that they are fighting
על נצח ישראל.
for the eternity of
בעזרת
Israel,
השם,
which is of course a biblical phrase from the book of Samuel, and so he's invoking, Netzach Israel, the eternity of Israel. And he says, with the help of God, Bezrat Hashem, he says,
ביחד נילחם,
together we shall fight,
וביחד ננצח.
and together we shall be victorious. The rest of this video is of him touring this base, which was south of Haifa, and you could see that he's touring to understand what transpired. And why is he on this tour? Like, why did he go to this specific spot? Because Golani is a very beloved brand. It's a very beloved infantry unit, but it's like a brand in Israel. Golani is there's songs about Golani, more than one. And here he is with fighters. And it was that the strike against the soldiers could have dampened the spirit, the esprit de corps. And so therefore, here he is, Netanyahu, with the soldiers, with the families of the soldiers who were injured, and giving them strength. You could see that he's giving them strength. You can look at those faces. Yes, indeed. And there's pain there as well. He's listening to the stories. That's a commander-in-chief at this precarious moment. So good for him. And we got to keep fighting. And that's the spirit. We have to have a fighting spirit right now. As I've said in previous programs, we can't talk about having a calm year and having a quiet year. We got to talk about victory over our enemies. And we have to use this moment of crisis, really. We have to use it to wipe out our enemies.